Hey, good evening. I'd like to call to order the Onalaska Common Council. This is our annual organizational meeting. It is Tuesday, April 16th, and the time is 7 p.m. Our first order of business will be the roll call. Joanne, could you call the roll?
Mayor Kim Smith,
Here.
Sean McAllister,
Right here.
Dan Stevens,
Present.
Stephen Knott,
Present.
Mike Milkey,
Here.
Larry Jurassic,
Present.
Diane Wolf.
Echoing Sean right here.
Right here.
Okay, item 2, Pledge of Allegiance. Please rise.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, item 3, the rules of the Onalaska Common Council and its subcommittees. This is a harassment-free forum. City council and subcommittee meetings shall be conducted in a courteous manner. Citizens, council, and committee members shall be allowed to state their positions in an atmosphere free of slander, obscene remarks, or threats of violence. Sufficient warnings may be given by the sergeant at arms or the chair at any time during the remarks, and in the event that any individual shall violate the rules of decorum as set forth, such person may then be cut off from comment or debate. Item 4 is public input. This is the time where members of the community may address the Common Council. If you choose to do so, please begin by stating your name and your address, and please limit your comments to 3 minutes. Would anyone like to address the Common Council this evening? Second call for anyone wishing to address the Common Council. Third and final call for anyone wishing to address the Common Council this evening. Public input is now closed, and I'll continue to item 5, a report from the mayor. First up with item A, recognition of public service by the standing boards and committees. I want to thank everyone for their past service on the committees this past year. It does take a time commitment from those of you who serve, and we do appreciate that. I will also continue with item B, oath of office for newly elected officials. Joanne Marcon, our city clerk, will be doing the honors, and I will go first.
Yes, we'll start with the mayor. Okay, first we have a certificate of election that I will be presenting to you, and I will just read it quick so everybody knows. That it says, I, city clerk of the city of Onalaska, do hereby certify that at the election held in said city on the 2nd day of April, 2024, you, Kim Smith, were by the greatest number of votes elected to the office of mayor of the city of Onalaska for the term of 4 years, commencing on the 16th day of April, 2024. Congratulations. You'll raise your right hand, repeat after me. I, Kim Smith,
I, Kim Smith,
having been elected to
having been elected to
the office of mayor of the city of Onalaska,
the office of mayor of the city of Onalaska,
swear that I will support
swear that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the state of Wisconsin,
and the Constitution of the state of Wisconsin,
and will faithfully and impartially
and will faithfully and impartially
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of said office
of said office
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
If you could sign for me right here. All right, congratulations. Thank you. We'll move on to District 1. So Mike, if you wanted to come on down.
And Mike's family, if you want to stand up and move to a different position to take pictures, that's perfectly fine with us.
And then when we're all done and he's got a certificate, if you want to come up and get photos, you're welcome to come up. So we've got the same certificate of election for Mike. City clerk of the city of Onalaska certifies that at the election held on the 2nd day of April, 2024, you, Mike Milkey, were by the greatest number of votes elected to the office of the city of Onalaska, 1st District Alderperson for the said city for a term of 2 years, commencing on the 16th day of April, 2024. Congratulations. All right, and if you could raise your right hand, repeat after me. I, Mike Milkey,
I, Mike Milky,
having been elected to
having been elected to
the office of District 1 Alderperson
the office of District 1 Alderperson
for the city of Onalaska,
for the city of Onalaska,
swear that I will support
swear that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the state of Wisconsin,
the Constitution of the state of Wisconsin,
and will faithfully and impartially
and will faithfully and impartially
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of said office
of said office
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. You could sign for me. You guys want to help with photos? You can hold your certificate. It's much prettier than.
Yeah, do so. You're good.
All right, up next is Second District, Diane Wolf.
It's okay. It's a good memory. It's good to include the kids.
We have Diane's certificate of elections. I, the city clerk of the city of Onalaska, do hereby certify that the election held on the second day of April, 2024, you, Diane Wolf, were by the greatest number of votes elected to the office of City of Onalaska Second District Alderperson for said city for the term of 2 years commencing on the 16th day of April, 2024. Congratulations.
Thank you so very much.
All right, and then I'll switch to the oath. I, Diane Wolf,
I, Diane Wolf,
having been elected to
having been elected to
the office of District 2 Alderperson
the office of District 2 Alderperson
for the city of Onalaska,
for the city of Onalaska,
swear that I will support
swear that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the state of Wisconsin,
and the Constitution of the state of Wisconsin,
and will faithfully and impartially
and will faithfully and impartially
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of said office
of said office
to the best of my
to
ability.
the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
You want to sign there for us? Congrats.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And you can take this with you, Diane. Great. All right, and up next, District 3, Larry. We have Larry's certificate of election. I, city clerk, of the city of Onalaska, do hereby certify that the municipal election held in the city on the second day of April, 2024, you, Larry Jurassic, were by the greatest number of votes elected to the office of City of Onalaska Third District Alderperson for said city for the term of 2 years commencing on the 16th day of April, 2024. Congratulations. Could raise your right hand, and repeat after me. I, Larry Jurassic,
I, Larry Jurassic,
having been elected to
be elected to
the office of District 3 Alderperson
the office of District 3 Alderperson
for the city of Onalaska,
for the city of Alaska,
swear that I will support
swear that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the state of Wisconsin,
and the Constitution of the state of Wisconsin,
and will faithfully and impartially
and will faithfully and impartially
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of said
of
office
said office
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So.
Good sign for us right there.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, item C, recognition of the council seniority. This is for the record. In highest seniority to lowest seniority, most senior member Diane Wolf. Second, Dan Stevens. Then next is Stephen Knott, Larry Jurassic, Sean McAllister, and Mike Milky. Okay, consideration and possible action on the following items. The first, item 6, is election of the council president. I'll just take a minute to remind everybody. The Common Council at its first meeting subsequent to the regular election and qualification of the new members shall, after reorganization, annually choose from its members a president of the council in the manner as set forth below, who, in the absence of the mayor, shall preside at meetings of the council, and during the absence or inability of the mayor, shall have the powers and the duties of the mayor, except that they shall not have the power to approve an act of the common council which the mayor has disapproved by following an objection with the city clerk. When so officiating, the council president shall be referred to as acting mayor. The council president shall be elected for a one-year term of office. So specifically, the council president election nomination for council president shall be by floor nominations. The chair shall open the floor for nominations. Candidates shall accept or decline the nomination upon being nominated. Once there are no longer any nominations, the chair shall close the nominations. After the closing of the nominations, candidates may speak one time for up to 3 minutes each. Order of speech shall be determined at random. After all candidates have spoken, a roll call vote shall occur. Upon the roll call, each council member shall state the name of the candidate they are voting for. The process shall be repeated until such time as the council president has been chosen by a majority vote. Does anyone have any questions before we begin the election process? Okay, I will now open the floor to nominations for council president. Are there any nominations? Larry?
I'll make a nomination for Diane Wolf to be president.
Okay, Diane, do you accept the nomination?
Yes, I will.
Okay, are there any other nominations for council president? Mike?
I'll nominate Dan Stevens.
Okay, Dan, do you accept the nomination?
Yes.
Okay, are there any other nominations for council president? Second call for any other nominations for council president. Third and final call for any other nominations for council president. Nominations are now closed. Joanne will determine by random vote which counselor will go first. You will have 3 minutes to say whatever you want to say.
So I wrote Diane and Dan's name on a scrap of paper, and we will just let Jared pick a name. Whoever he picks will go first. This is all how we determine ballot placement as well.
Jared picks it.
Just kidding. Diane Wolf will go first.
Okay, so Diane, you can go ahead and go first. You have 3 minutes or up to 3 minutes.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have not prepared anything this evening. I have served this council proudly for 4 years as council president. I have served with honor, in my opinion, my second district for 12 years. I think about when it comes to leadership, who do you want to be in such a leadership position as council president? I think about who has integrity. I think integrity, number one, matters. And I think if you look at the two people who sit up here, you need to compare our integrity. I look back a few years ago and my opponent this evening for council president could not say enough wonderful good things about me and probably spent more than 3 minutes talking about me when I was opposed by someone previously. I did not win that night and that was perfectly fine. But it's unfortunate that we are in the position that we are at right now. What happened with my election, and I was not planning on talking about this at all, and I hope this is the only time that I refer to it, is that there were no winners with this election by what happened during my election. The city of Onalaska suffered. This city hall suffered. Our department head suffered. Our staff suffered. I chose to go positive. I will continue to go positive. It has been very hurtful. It's been very damaging to my career. It's been very damaging to my personal life. It's been very damaging to my 32 years that I have continued to build up my following in Onalaska and my volunteer efforts in Onalaska. But I will continue onward because that's what I do. But if I'm chosen to be your council president, I will continue to move forward and work positively with everyone. But integrity matters. As my shirt says, local elections matter. And whoever you have in this position, you have to be able to trust them, trust their integrity, trust their word. And I still remember Northern Hills had a elementary school theme maybe 20 some years ago. And it was 2 words, character counts. And I have never forgotten that. So whenever I am battle tested and I am battle scarred right now, I always remember those 2 words, character counts. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Diane. Okay, Dan Stevens, you have the floor.
Thank you, Your Honor. Recent times have been certainly interesting, to say the least, but I have and will not apologize for being a consummate defender of the citizens of Onalaska and the volunteer community. We in the city have a problem when the people that donate their time and their money and their resources feel unappreciated and they feel attacked, not from city staff, but they feel that they have a problem with the city council. And say what you will about me, I'm not going to be, nobody's ever called me meek. I will stand up and I will fight for when I see that there are injustices happening, I will stand up and be the guy. Now, I don't have a dying need to be the council president, but I would fill the role if that was bestowed upon me by this council. There's a couple things that I would do a little differently. It has been made aware to me by multiple staff members from the past administration of kind of an overzealousness and micromanagement. I then polled other staff and they concurred that it was a thing, although it might not affect their department as much as others. So if elected, one thing that I will try to do is protect staff from having to stay late to entertain older people. I think that we should value their time, and it's okay if you ask questions of them that are work related while they're here, but at the end of the day, it's time to go home. Just in the last month, I witnessed our city administrator was kind of stuck in the vestibule by the mailboxes after showing up before 8, and then you had meetings afterwards. The guy has a family and kids. Let them go home. So that's one thing I would concentrate on. I think that we are blessed with a competent and professional and well-qualified staff of department heads. Let them do the job. We don't need to have somebody here who's, I've heard from constituents, the previous city administrator, or not city administrator, the previous council president, say, I've logged 90 hours in and this person only does 8. That's not right. This isn't something where you set yourself up to be martyred and then potentially complain about how you're not getting paid enough. Like, this is coming from constituents. That's not a good look for the city council. And if integrity is important, those are exactly the type of things that maybe you should not be talking about. So whether I'm the guy or not, I don't know. Maybe it's not me, maybe it's not Diane. I'd be open to somebody else, but
3 minutes, Your Honor.
I'll leave on that. If asked to serve,
Thank you, Diane. Or thank you, Dan.
second time you called me Diane tonight. Just
Well, it
say it.
starts with a D. I mean, it was either that or Steven. Okay, voting is by roll call. Joanne,
Okay, and you will state the name of the individual that you are voting for. Larry Jurassic,
Diane,
Stephen Knott,
Diane,
Diane. Wolf. Mike Milky,
Dan Stevens.
Sean McAllister.
Dan Stevens.
Dan.
I guess this night's going to get interesting. I'll say Dan Stevens.
Okay, thank you. We have a tied vote.
Correct.
We'll get ready to vote again. We have the plan for the order.
Are you declining to break the tie, Your Honor?
Pardon me?
Are you declining to break the tie?
I didn't think I had that option.
You do.
I inquired about this previously and was told I do not have the option.
Under the league opinion number 349, there is the option to break the tie. So it is the league's opinion that the statutes in fact allow the mayor to break a tie in the vote for the council president. Under 62098E, the statutes provide the council at its first meeting subsequent to the regular election and qualification of new members shall, after organization, choose from its members a president who in the absence of the mayor shall preside at the meetings of the council. Section 62098E must be read in conjunction with section 62111, which provides in part the mayor and alderpersons shall be the common council. Therefore, it is in the league's opinion that the mayor may vote in case of a tie. The mayor is a member of the council. Therefore, when the council chooses its president, the mayor is a part of the council and has a vote if there is a tie. Assuming that the mayor elects not to break the tie, it is our opinion that the council is free to adopt any default rule which it deems reasonable.
Okay, I will obtain my right to vote and I will vote for Diane Wolf. Diane Wolf will be the council president. Thank you. Item 7, appointments to the standing committees, boards, commissions, and other committees. Attached to the original packet, you'll find my recommendation for the 2024 appointments, and I'll turn that matter over to the Common Council.
Your Honor, I move that we accept the appointments to the standing committees, boards, commissions, and other committees.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor by Alder Dan Stevens. It's been seconded by Larry Jurassic to approve the appointments. Is there any other discussion? Not seeing or hearing any. Let's see, that was going to be by roll call. Okay, motion on the floor is to approve. Voting will be by roll call.
Diane Wolf.
I will abstain.
Dan Stevens.
Aye.
Stephen Knott.
Aye.
Sean McAllister.
Aye.
Larry Jurassic.
Aye.
Mike Milky.
Voting was 5-0 with 1 abstention. The appointments have been approved. Resolution 17-2024 designates public depositories and authorizes withdrawal of city monies. I'll put this to the council for approval or action.
Your Honor, I move that we approve resolution 17-2024 designating the public depositories and authorizing the withdrawal of city monies.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion on the floor by Dan Stevens, seconded by Mike Milky. Is there any discussion? Sabrina.
Thank you. I was just going to note our primary bank, Bremer Bank, which is where we currently are at. We will be going out for RFP for that later this summer. So just a heads up on that.
Thank you for that point of interest. Any other comments, questions, discussion? Okay, the motion on the floor is to approve, and this voting will be by roll call also.
Mike Milky.
Aye.
Sean McAllister.
Aye.
Larry Jurassic.
Aye.
Diane Wolf.
Aye.
Dan Stevens.
Aye.
Stephen Knott.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Item 9 is discussion and possible action regarding meeting times. We'll turn this over to Rick Niemeyer to outline the discussion.
Thank you, Mayor. This topic came up not too long ago in some conversations. I know one was with Mayor as well too, looking at certain meetings that occur later in the evenings and whether or not there would be a conversation about moving those meetings to a different time. For example, the council meeting is at 7 p.m., Board of Public Works at 6:30, Plan Commission at 7. Those are probably the latest ones. And I'm sure when those meeting times were set, I'm sure there were valid reasons as to why they were set at those specific times. being that we are at the organizational meeting, I thought this would be a good time to visit whether or not there is any interest in moving those times to maybe an earlier time. Part of the rationale would be as well, staff are here, in the morning, usually 8 o'clock or earlier. And so if there is an opportunity for staff not to be here later, they would certainly welcome that. So we just wanted to start the conversation to see if the council had any interest in moving any of the meeting times.
Okay, is there any comments by the counselors?
I always like
Okay.
6. I'm sorry.
Sean McAllister.
I always like the 6 o'clock.
Is your mic on? Is your mic on?
Yep, I always like the 6 o'clock, if that's okay with everybody.
Okay.
Earlier is better.
For council,
For council.
Stephen?
Yeah, as long as it's 6 o'clock or later, I'm fine. But as far as any of the other beyond the common council, many of them will impact others if we move them. So we need to consider that.
Right. I mean, I think this is just more about for sure council, but like just getting the discussion out there. I think from the other committees, it would have to, I mean, we've adjusted A&J and FMP
Sure.
and some of them.
15
Like we'd have
minutes.
to go through, I think we were planning on having it on the agendas in the next round if the council was up for discussing that. So this is more just discussion. Is 6 o'clock something other people are thinking? Does anybody have a problem with council being at 6 instead of 7? Diane Wolf, go ahead. You don't want it.
Responding, yeah, I do. Yeah, it doesn't work for my schedule.
Oh, they're not?
Would 6:30 work?
Be a lot better.
I mean, it's a council decision, so we're just bringing it up as a topic. So I'll leave it to if someone wants to
Is that something?
pursue it or not.
Tonight?
I mean, no, but we are together right now. So I mean, if you want to think about it and have it as an action item for our next meeting, that's fine. We just need direction, what the council would like to do. Rick?
Yeah, just some input would be helpful. I believe, is this part of the rules or the ordinance that we would have to bring back a change in that?
I think it might be in the ordinances. I'll
Okay.
double check.
So, but if there's direction from the council that this is something of interest, we could revise the ordinance and then bring it back at the next meeting for further discussion and potential action as well.
Yes, but for the counselors' information, it was discussed with staff and staff was supportive of moving it up in any increment as possible. Okay, so is everyone okay if we bring it back at the next meeting then? And the specific information you want is, does the ordinance need to change? Okay. Okay, and then item 10, discussion, okay, Alder Jurassic?
Yeah, does that ordinance reference any other committees or just council?
I would have to double check. I don't know off the top of my head.
I actually don't know that it references the actual time. So I will have to do some digging on that.
We'll look at the council rules as well too, to see if there's anything in there.
Thank you, Mayor.
Did we want?
Okay.
to weigh in on plan and board?
Moving on. Item 10, discussion and possible action on the common council cell phones. I'll refer to Amanda for that topic.
Yeah, so Administrator Niemeyer and I had a discussion related to this as well as our IT director. The world is changing, it's getting more digital and, as open records are becoming, something that we're seeing more and more record requests just across the state of Wisconsin. We've had issues where text messages have been held to possibly be open records. We've had issues where people have been using personal phones and where those personal phones hold information that is a public record where, elected officials are having to turn over their personal phones for scrutiny. We're also just seeing a lot more instances related to people accessing information in more concerning ways. And so sort of for the safety of, I think, the council and, to maintain those records, those public records, which sometimes exist on phones, for the nominal cost, we calculated it would be about $3,200 a year to have the phone lines. And then there would be an initial upfront cost about $400. So we're estimating about $4,000 this year. I think that there is value in issuing cell phones to our common council members. And it would, one, give you access to your emails at all times, which is, both a blessing and a burden. But it does, give you a means to contact your constituents without giving out, too much personal information. I mean, your phone numbers stay with you for life. You may not be a common council member for life. And so it gives you at least a little separation between personal and position, as well as maintaining those records in a way that I think is beneficial for everybody. So I did talk to Sabrina. We would just absorb this for this year. We're fairly confident that we will not be under budget by $4,000 and that we will have some savings that we can, through interest, pay for this. And then we would plan to budget for next year if that is the will of the council.
Okay, Alder Wolf?
Thank you, Your Honor. If I could confirm with Joe, I'm assuming, or Amanda, this would be on the iOS platform, would it not? On iOS?
Yes, so you would be issued iPhone 14s, and we'd have them ready for you in about a week.
With a lot of possible instructions, right? Says the Android 8W, I
Okay.
won't say the word.
If Jared can do it, you can do it too.
I don't know.
Okay, Alder Not?
Yeah, when I first assumed responsibilities as an alder, I actually, for all the reasons that Amanda just mentioned,
Mhm.
started a second private line with a phone that was going to be used just for the city. And after paying that for 2 years, I just couldn't justify to my family that expense. So yeah, it's there are court cases where that absolutely has happened, where private lines, because somebody put in a request for information, the personal phone had to be turned over and scrutinized. Now, does that mean everything gets made public? No, but somebody's looking at your phone. So I don't like the cost to the city, but I think it's prudent.
Okay, thank you. Alder Stevens?
I totally understand the rationale. I'm wondering if this is something we can opt out on. I mean, I'm pretty careful that I don't keep anything that I would be embarrassed about on any computer system. I think the likelihood, I mean, while it can happen, I'm not aware that in the city of Onalaska, any alder has ever had their cell phone subpoenaed. So is it a potential problem that we're heading off? And if certain alders want to take advantage of that, great. I kind of don't want to have the extra device that I'm responsible for and have to charge. Like, I would be fine on the status quo. At this point, people have my phone number and people outside of the city have my phone number, and I make it pretty available. So I feel like I don't have anything to hide. I would rather not have the expense to the city, and I would personally rather not have the obligation of being in charge of the device. But if other alders wanted to take advantage of that, I would have no objection.
Alder Not?
I don't think it's a matter of having anything to hide. I think it's a matter of privacy that as US citizens we're entitled to. It's an uncomfortable feeling, knowing that could happen. Again, I have nothing to hide either, Dan, but that's irrelevant is my point. Yeah.
Okay, Alder Jurassic?
Yeah, I'm sorry to say that's the world we live in today. Where anybody could sue anybody for anything, and I want as much information as I want from you, whether it has anything to do with the way you voted, or I just want to screw up your life for a while. I agree with everybody else that, it's a necessary evil. Sorry, Mayor.
Any other comments? Do you need a motion? Okay, so if someone wants to put a motion on the floor.
I'll make a motion that we'll proceed with the purchase of phone and network for the members of this common council.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor by Larry Jurassic. Is there a second?
Well, second.
Seconded by Stephen Knott. Any further discussion?
Could we
Stephen?
Clarification on. if
You can
it's-
opt out.
Opt out?
That was going to be my comment. I'm certain
Okay.
you can opt out. I've opted out of other things in this city before that have been passed. I've just done it anonymously.
We would likely just want documentation that you are opting out. But we would also purchase a phone to have for, essentially each district
For
is
the
going to have a
position,
phone.
not-
So each
Mhm.
position. So we would just hold yours until either you wanted it or,
Be good for backup too,
yeah.
maybe.
Okay. We have the question answered. Is there any other questions or discussion? Okay, the motion on the floor is to move forward with the common council cell phones. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, say no. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Item 11 is adjournment.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Motion made by Diane Wolf, seconded by Stephen Knott. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
No one, is anyone opposed? We are adjourned. The time is 7:37.